You have everything, and you feel hollow. The job came, the relationship stayed, the goal you chased for years finally landed in your hands. You stood in a golden room of your own making, holding every prize you ever asked for. And after the celebration, silence. Not the peace you expected. A silence that asks a question you're too tired to voice. Is this it? Psychologists have terms for this. The arrival fallacy, the belief that reaching a destination will complete you. Hedonic adaptation, the way every new normal becomes just normal again. You may be the kind of person who has climbed a mountain and stood at the top only to feel a thin, cold wind and no arrival. Some call it burnout. Others call it the quiet emptiness of a success you poured everything into, only to find it had nothing left to give you back. Now, this isn't about the heavy, unshakable numbness that needs professional support. That's real, and it deserves real help. This is different. It's the quiet hollowness that shows up after a promotion, a wedding, a dream come true. The kind that makes you feel selfish for even noticing it. But here's the part no one prepared you for. The emptiness didn't appear when you failed. It grew loudest after the applause. When you should have felt full, you felt farthest from home. A quiet ache followed you, whispering, you forgot something. And so you wonder, maybe the problem isn't what you haven't achieved. Maybe the ache isn't a sign of more effort needed. Maybe it's pointing somewhere else entirely. Rumi heard this exact whisper 8 centuries ago, and he didn't call it depression. He didn't call it failure. He called it the most honest prayer a human being can make. Because the emptiness, he said, is not a sign that you are broken. It's a sign that you are remembering something you lost before you were born. But what did he mean, and why does his answer begin with a simple read? Rumi opens his masterpiece, the Masnavi, not with a lecture, with a cry. Listen to the reed, how it tells a tale, complaining of separations, saying, ever since I was parted from the reed bed, my lament has caused man and woman to moan. He gives us an image, a reed cut from the riverbank, hollowed out, turned into a flute, and when breath is blown through its emptiness, it doesn't make a note, it makes longing. The reed's song is the very sound of homesickness. Anyone who hears it, Rumi says, remembers something they've lost. Something that was once whole. But here's what changes everything. The reed can only sing because it's hollow. The emptiness inside it is not a tragedy. It's the condition for music. Your hollowness works the same way. That feeling of I'm missing something is not a void to fill with more accomplishments, more pleasure, more noise. It's a space carved out for something larger than you to move through. The ache you feel is not a sign you're malfunctioning. It's a sign you're an instrument being tuned by hands that know how you're supposed to sound. And the most honest song you will ever sing begins the moment you admit, I miss a home I can't name. Every time you achieve and still feel empty, it's the reed remembering. Every time you ask, is this all there is? The divine breath is asking to turn that emptiness into melody. The reed doesn't waste its hollowness. It lets the breath shape it into a sound the reed bed itself might hear. Rumi tells us the reed's lament is not a complaint against the reed bed. It's a love song. It's the proof that the reed still remembers where it came from. So your emptiness is not a mistake. It is not a flaw. It is evidence. Evidence that you came from somewhere, and that somewhere still calls you. You've been trying to fill a flute with gold, and it only makes you heavier, not happier. The emptiness is meant to remain open. The reed's cry is your cry, and it's the most honest thing about you. Your longing isn't a problem to solve, it's a compass, and it points inward, toward the only home you never truly left. Most people are not empty because something is missing. They are empty because they are homesick for a place they've never let themselves visit. The moment you stop trying to silence the reed and start listening to its song, everything changes. The reed does not cry because it is broken. It cries because it remembers the riverbank. That ache you've been carrying, that quiet sadness behind every win, is not a flaw to fix. It is the fingerprint of where you truly belong. It was never a hole to be filled. It was a direction to be taken. You are not broken for feeling empty in a full life. You are remembering, and remembrance is the first step back. Rumi lived this. The longing is the path, not an obstacle. The path. So stop asking what's wrong with you. Start asking where your reed bed is calling from. If you've made it this far, you're clearly someone who thinks deeply. That's rare. If you'd like to continue this journey together, consider subscribing. These conversations are better when they find the people who actually need them. What's one quiet ache you've been carrying that might actually be a homing signal? And if that ache is a direction, how do you walk toward it? That question is waiting in the next video. The silence you've been running from might be the first note of your own song.